Okay, so you can see that I've sketched out a bird here. The theme for this week's painting is a bald eagle. I've sketched this bald eagle out from a few of my reference photos, but I want to keep the focus on the background, and I may bring you back in to the bird itself in a follow-up video with this, but for right now, you know the drill. You know how I lay this out with black. I'm not worried about the eagle right now. I'm going to focus on the background. So we've got this all ready to go. Should be nice and dry. And what I've got here are some liquitex soft body paints, titanium white, cadmium yellow, and cad orange. And then I've got 2 golden fluid acrylics, napthol red and carbon black. The more powerful the pigment, the reds and blacks are really powerful. I like to use the fluid colors for that, and the reason that I use liquitex soft body is they're a little bit thicker, so white will just help cover better, and it'll make the colors that I'm mixing a little bit more opaque when I've got some liquitex soft bodies versus the fluid acrylics are a little more transparent when I thin them down. So that's what I'm going to start with. I've got a 1-inch flat brush, just an old flat brush. We're going to start with some white and grab just a touch of yellow. Don't want a lot. Just tint the color of the white. Okay, let's start with that. Now, I'm going to go right through this center area. And you wouldn't have to put a bird in here. This could be this would work great for just about anything that you're looking to try to paint. I'm just going to continue all the way across here. So if you want to do this without the bird, you just want to focus on the landscape, that's all right too. Just have to imagine this bird not even being here. But you can see why I've outlined my subject in black, because that really is hard to cover up, so I won't lose that bird. But yet it gives me kind of perspective of what's going on here. I can visualize that bird the entire time while I'm working on the rest of the painting. Okay, so I'm going to grab some more white, put it right into kind of that mixture of yellow. Grab some more yellow, probably grab some orange. Just a touch of each color. Okay, I'll try that. Now what I'm going to do is kind of go right through the center and just kind of pop it off. Just drag it out. I'm going to do the same with kind of the top. So I want to leave some of this yellow, but on the edges, and then I kind of like having, I'm just imagining a hint of cloud coming through that yellow. So as we get further away from the yellow, we're going to get more saturated. We're going to get closer to the reds and the grays. But for right now, just some subtle hints. I'm going to take it slowly. I know I haven't done a how to paint video for a while, so I thought I'd get back to it. Sometimes we just need to take some time for ourselves and figure out what we're doing as artists before we can help share it with all of you guys. So I'm working on new stuff. I'm going to be sharing some more and some new tips coming up soon, but I'm still kind of working on that myself, trying to figure out the best way to teach it, the best way to present it to you so that you can understand it as easy as you can. Okay, so now it's kind of hard to tell. It's really hard to visualize this because we don't have a lot of contrast. There's not a lot of depth in this painting yet, but you can kind of see that orange against the yellow. And so what I'm going to do is grab some more white. You can see this is why I grabbed a lot of white to begin with. And I'm going to add some orange. And this time, I'm going to grab a touch of red, just a bit of red. So we've got kind of a pink shade now. Now, as I get into the reds, what we want to do is start to move this color into the grayscale. So I'm going to grab some black, just a touch. I'm going to mix it off to the side so I don't add too much. And then kind of mix it in. See how that goes. I think we can get away with a little more, so I'll just grab some of that again. Okay, now I might take some yellow. This is looking a bit too pink for me, so I want some yellow to be in that as well. Okay. Touch more black. That's it, I promise. Okay, let's try that. Perfect. Now, this is where having this would be a 6-time primed canvas, because these canvases that I buy were triple primed, and then I triple primed it again. So this is where it kind of comes in handy though. This is where you can really take advantage of it, because that slight fine texture makes it really easy to blend the colors. Makes for a nice effect. Okay, now as we get up, let's see, before we get up to the top, no, we'll just go right into it actually. So I'll grab some more of this gray. Actually, I'll just grab some more black. So I grabbed some of the color, moved it over here, added some black to it. I want to save some of that color for right now. So I'm kind of mixing more of a gray. That'll work. Now it's going to get kind of tacky. It's starting to tack up for me already. So I'll probably let this portion dry pretty quick here, but I'll try to get as much as I can done while I can still move the paint around. So I'm going to grab some more black, mix it in there. We got more of a gray now. I'm going to add some gray tones. I'm going to dip my brush in water, try to keep that paint moving. That's all right, that'll work. And if it's not quite as smooth as you want it to be, you can go back and fix it later. I think learning to go back and correct things is really the key to achieving the desired effect that you want. Because if you're forced to do it all at once, well, you can never really do it all at once. It's very tough to do it anyways. So right now, I think I am going to let this part dry. It's starting to get tough to blend. Okay, just going to leave it like that. That's pretty good. We've got a pretty nice blend of colors right there. So I'm going to wash my brush and dab it off with a napkin. Grab my palette again. We're going to go back to this color, a little bit of this color that we had left over. I'm going to add some kind of right over this spot of orange that we drug across here, just kind of the back end over on this side here. And then I'm going to add some to the underside of this piece of orange that we brought through here. Okay, now stand back here and take a look. What I want to do, I'm going to get down a little bit more eye level here. Now I want something going on probably right here. I want a break in the clouds. So I'm imagining a break in the clouds. This is going to be a cloud that's standing out kind of on the front side of all this. And so I'm trying to see beneath that. I want to see through it. And you know, you can just kind of go overboard because we can cover that up pretty easily. So I know I want some kind of break in the clouds down here. And let's try, well, I think I'll just leave that for right now. Okay. Now, we probably just don't even need to wash our brush. What we're going to do is take some more white, add that. Having a nice warm tone like this reddish orange in our white, kind of nice. It warms things up anyways. So now I'm going to grab some black. Just a bit. Mix it in, get some gray. Grab probably some more red. And in fact, what I could probably do, I'm going to grab some cobalt blue. Yeah, just a tiny bit right on the palette. And I'm going to pick up just a small amount. Mix that in along with the red. And this is going to give us a hint of violet. Probably grab some more black. So we've got a hint of violet in there. Let's make it even darker. Test it out. I think we can go with some more blue, actually. Maybe some more red too. Let's just stick with that for now. We can change it. Now hopefully it doesn't cover up too much of my eagle, and it's going to. I can already see. So when I kind of get to this point, what I'll do, just so I don't lose it, is I'll take my finger. Look how you can just open that up. And then maybe just fan it. I can see it. It might be hard for you to see it. Yeah, if I keep just working it, you're kind of pushing the paint off. I won't lose that eagle entirely. Okay. I'm going to go right up to the underside of that red that we kind of laid in right through here. Kind of imagine a cloud floating in front. I'm going to pick up some water. Just grab some water. Enough color there on the brush. Probably just keep going with that. So a lot more of a thinner paint right now. And it's going to be hard to blend this dark color out. So I'm not going to try just yet. I'm going to let it just kind of sit. And then go over the top and blend some more out later. And I could probably just get away with some of this color coming through that piece that we worked on right through there. And then underneath, this is where our break in the clouds is. Something like that. Okay, now what I want to do is just let everything dry, and I'm going to go back over the top of my eagle with some black paint so that I don't end up losing that. And then once it's dry, we'll come back and we'll go to the next step. All right, now that this is dry, I'm starting to get a better feel for where I want to go with this. And I love the gradient up here, but I would like to see it a little bit lower in the sky. I think it would be much more dramatic if we had it start to flow into that gray somewhere through here. So what I'm going to do is kind of repeat the same process. I'm going to grab some yellow and some white. I'm going to go right across the middle section here. Just kind of match that color. And that'll give me something to blend as I something to blend with as I go upward. So grab some orange now. Mix it with my white. Yeah, it's just a tiny bit lower. And then the real difference that I'm going to make here is as we get up further, we're going to go into the red, get some white, and then I'm going to pick up some gray with this as well. Try that for right now. Get some water on my brush. Want to keep it flowing. Perfect. Now you can see that transition to red is going to be much lower now. I might leave a couple lines through here, give a nice effect of the appearance of clouds. Okay. Then we're going to grab some more gray. You could probably just add gray to that mixture. I've got some that's still kind of wet. Perfect. Now I'm going to get some water. Just make sure, again, that I keep the flow. Just try to fade it right into the red. Now remember, you don't have to have it perfect just yet. Can always go back, kind of blend these colors out later. I'm going to just attempt to leave some of the red. I want it to fade into gray much lower in the sky than I once originally tried to do. I'm really starting to press hard now, just trying to blend that color out. Add a couple lines. Yeah, that's fine. Kind of gives it some extra detail. Stand back real quick, take a look. I love that. I'm going to stick, and I might have to fix some of this. There's some areas that are going to be kind of rough to get going here, but that is looking wonderful. So what I'm going to do is wash my brush, and I think I'm going to switch to one of my favorite round blender brushes, or this is a Artist Loft round blender brush. No, scrumbler brush from Artist Loft, but the round blender from Princeton is the same thing, just kind of a roundish brush. It's going to work good for getting a little more detailed with my blending. And I'm going to pick up some white. I've got some water mixed in there as well. I'm going to look for areas and you know what? I need to clean my water. Some of that is going to not be pure white. So we're going to come back in a second. I'm going to clean my water, clean everything up so that we can get these real nice and white. Okay, we've got some clean water, clean brushes. I'm going to try that again with the white. We want this to be really nice and bright. There we go. Look at that stand out. Almost looks like the sun is just peeking through right there. And I'm going to continue with that in several areas here. Kind of right above this cloud as well. Probably do some more right through here. Now, it might not be as bright as you want it the first go around. Sometimes you have to add several layers. What also works really well is just adding oil paint once you're done, just to increase kind of the intensity of some of these highlights. It's really hard to match the brightness of oils for, say, a highlight such as this. Perfect. Now, what you can do to just increase the intensity of those, I'm just going to add some orange and some yellow into some of this white that I've mixed. And to increase the intensity of these highlights, what you can do is add a little more color right around the edge. Look at that, little bit of orange right there. We can take some yellow, just add some yellow to some white. Just make a really bright yellow. So the same thing we did with the whites in this yellow area, we can do with a yellow in the orange area. Look at that, just adding some more highlights up through here. Now you can get as detailed as you want. This is just a start. So you can keep going and it'll get even more realistic and more realistic. This is about the same as any painting that I do. This is kind of how everything starts. Not much difference. It's looking really nice. What I can do now is I might want to just, got some of this kind of dirty orange color. I can take some of that, mix it into my white mixture. I'm going to try to match that color right there. And I'm just going to pull it out further. I think we can continue to darken some of these areas around the highlights to really increase the intensity of the highlights, just that dramatic effect. And this is just helping me blend some of this together so I can work on that part of it all day long. But for the most part, that's getting pretty close to what I was hoping to achieve. There's a few things that I'm not quite happy with. Just my own personal preference of where I'd like to go with it. I think you could be happy with this though. Just adding some more of that kind of reddish tone. I just want certain areas to be darker. That'll just be kind of a personal preference on my part. Just have to decide how far I want to go with this. So for now, I think you probably get the point. So I'm going to move further on. Let's go to this cloud here. And I can basically take kind of that same reddish color. What we're going to do, probably just grab some gray here. Still got a lot of these colors still wet. Grab some of this gray. It's probably going to need to be darker than that. And just kind of bring that up. Try to feather it out some. Going to need more blue. You can see that's going to be too dark. Much too dark. So I'm going to grab some blue, try to get that color back that we had. That's much better. Just added some blue and white to the mixture. That was kind of a darker red. Sometimes having some nice hard edges, just some random splotches, can really make it interesting. And give your clouds an extra level of realism. And I'll keep working on that myself. But that just takes a lot of time. It takes much more time than what we probably have available for. So I'm going to keep going with this. Let's move to more of a lighter red with some orange. I'm going to pick up some water. Right on the top edge. So this will be kind of a nice in-between color that I can use to blend and soften that edge out. And I'll work on that some more, but it's looking pretty good. And I can do the same down here. Nice in-between color. Mixing some more here. Probably just add, the further we go down, probably going to get into some more reds. What I would like to do is make the cloud a bit lower, right on the left edge, so I could just go right through, watch this, right through with some of that red. Then I can grab a whole bunch of white on my brush, pick up some orange and yellow. This is why I like acrylics. Whoop, all gone. We can start to change the shape of the cloud just that easily. And I'll have to let that dry. That gives us one step closer to bringing it back to the color that we have up here. Yeah, so I'll have it curved down, something like that. But I'm going to have to let it dry. Takes a few layers to get it there, but we're halfway. Okay, I'm going to wash my brush. And I'm just going to grab some more of that kind of nice, subtle pink tone that I have down here. I'm going to continue to just kind of feather this color across the bottom. Maybe right through the cloud. Right there. A little right there. Now it's looking pretty good, but at this point, I'm just not sure how far down I want to go. So I want to start focusing on what I'm going to do with the actual horizon. Probably put a break in the clouds right here too. I can get pretty indecisive about this, so bear with me. Well, I'm just going to leave it for now. I just don't know how far I want to go. I want to wait till this part dries up here too, and I can work on that more. It's looking pretty good though. I do love the color. Love the composition as a whole. Yeah, I'm going to get crazy here. All right. That's looking pretty good. Now, I'm going to switch to the horizon. I need to go wash my water again. I'd like to have some clean water. I'm going to switch colors pretty drastically here. So I'll come back in just a minute and I'll get started on the horizon. All right, now I've picked up some more of my cobalt blue, and so I'm going to take my white, my cobalt blue. I think the paint is dry underneath, so we should be good to go. And I don't want a lot. I want it to be pretty diluted. Try to get it out of the light for you. I want it to be pretty diluted, so we just want some blue in there. I've gone back to my larger flat brush, as you can see. And we'll pick up some black. We want this to get pretty dark, I think. We want it to be darker than the clouds, slightly. So, just kind of working on that. A little more black. Okay, that might be pretty good. Maybe some more white. Let's just go ahead and apply some and see how that looks. I'll go ahead and test it right here. I think that might be too dark, so I'm just going to go ahead and pick up more of this white. Along with some blue. All right, that might be better. Now, we're going to create some hillsides in the distance. I'm going to start kind of low here. Don't know how high up I want to get. I know I've got some white left right there. Not worried about the bottom, only worried about the top edge. Now I can go higher. I just want to see how this is going to look. That might work out pretty good. Yeah, why not? Let's keep it. I think I've got a good idea for this. I'll pick up a bit more blue. Bit more blue, just kind of add it in. Yeah, that's going to be better. Pretty thick paint. It's going to cover very well. Okay. I want this to be lower right there. Perfect, looking good. So just Kind of working on some distant hillsides way back there. Okay, we'll see how that works. I'm not sure if I like this part up here, but we're going to stick with that for right now. And what I'm going to do is just grab some more black. Grab some more black, get it into the mixture. I'm also going to add some red in with that. So I got black, white, kind of making a whole mess. I'm going to need to clean up my palette here in a minute. Okay. So I'm going to try this for right now. Just a darker gray. It's got a hint of violet because we added that red. All the way up there, and just kind of pull it down. Now we've kind of created the illusion of maybe a distant bay back in here, and this is kind of a point that comes down. We'll work on that some more. It's just getting started, but just gonna get this color blocked in and see how it's looking. Now that's not bad. I think we're just gonna go ahead and clean up my palette and get some more white, and we can let this dry. That'll be good, and I'll come back in just a few minutes. All right, that's much better. So what we're gonna try here is take some white along with some red, make a slight pink. I'll just try that right now. Now, where I lay down that darker color, and I probably didn't need to lay down the darker color. I had an idea of leaving some of it around the edge, but I might not. We're just going to try this for now. So we're going to make the appearance of water down below in a valley. Just like that. And what I'm going to do is grab some blue and some white, along with some black, probably some red. Yeah, we'll get some red and black in there. Some more blue. Now I want this to be darker, more saturated. We're going to create some ridge lines that are a bit closer, so just start with right here. Really just blocking in this color. And take that same color. Maybe this one kind of goes up and back down right there. What I'm actually going to do is take some more black, just add black to the mixture. I'm going to darken this one right here, make it appear closer than the other. All right. Then I can grab some more blue, mix with some white. I've just got a whole bunch of mess going on now. Just kind of feeling the color up as I go. A little bit lighter down below here. Kind of give that effect of some atmosphere in the valley. All right, kind of take that same color. And what I might do, let's pretend there's a ridge right there. Let's make it a third ridge, just kind of hidden through here. I might have to clean up some of these edges, but I'm just doing my best right now with this flat brush. I kind of go back over the top. That's pretty good for now. Okay, stand back. That's looking pretty good. Yeah, I really like how that's coming together. You can see everything starting to take shape. Now some of this out here just is going to take some time to just redefine. Not sure exactly how I want everything to appear. I've just got a darker color that I'm brushing, kind of right at the base of the mountains. But it's going to take some more time, so I think you get the picture for now. Of course, I'm going to try to cover up that little bit right there. Probably just go ahead. Just mixing that same color that I already had kind of in the water down there. Just go ahead and fill that in with that lighter color. Just like that. Perfect. Now you can kind of see the water taking shape. It's looking really good. The last thing I might do is add some trees, but I want them to be pretty subtle. I'm going to take a round brush, just kind of a medium-sized round brush, and I'm going to grab some black. And what I'm going to do is just create, well, in fact, what I need to do before I work on the trees is fix that last part in the sky. I know that I didn't really touch on that, and I'm going to need to go back. I'm going to go back to the sky itself and just keep working on it. We're getting close though. Grab some gray. Some red. Some yellow. Try to find that color. And what I'm going to do is just work all around the sky just like this. No different. But it is going to take some time. Probably a few hours. You just have to be patient with it. Just mixing some more of that color. This is a bit brighter. Just kind of increasing that appearance of a break in the clouds. And I might do that all over the place. And that actually reminds me about this spot that I wanted to fix. So I'm just taking some white and some yellow. Look at that, just like magic. We're going to get rid of that. I actually have a good idea for this area right here. Go back to some of that gray, orangish tone, kind of try to find, let's see, probably need some more yellow, some red. Trying to find that dirty orange color again. Yeah, it's pretty good. I could actually take this cloud and use this color just to break up the sky a bit more. Some of this area is a bit dull. That's going to make it a lot more interesting. I'll have to work on that. That just gets me started. Wash my brush. And what I'll do, and I'll have to take some more time to work on that part as well, but I can take some lighter yellow color and just sort of fade that in, blend it in, make it a bit more subtle. So that's one step closer to being done up there, but it's going to take some more than that, I believe. Something I don't like about it. We'll see where it goes. For now, I want to get back to just real quick, as I finish up some of the foreground area, I want just some silhouetted trees. And all I'm going to do is take solid black, some water, and I'm just going to work on adding some trees, just like that. But I'll probably go a lot more detailed, and I'll just keep going with it, and that'll take some time. But there's nothing else to creating some nice trees, and what that's going to do is give us a big depth perception between the trees and these distant hillsides. It's going to make it really seem a lot closer if we have those nice rich dark colors in the foreground. So I'm going to keep going with this. I'm going to have to speed it up, but I'll let you kind of watch me as I work the rest of the sky, and then I'll probably bring you back in with another video as I work on the eagle, and of course I'll probably have the time lapse for you as well. All right, well, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this and are able to take something away from it and apply it to your own work. Please be sure to ask any questions if you have any. Leave them in the comments below. I'll be happy to join the discussion. Also, check out my free print giveaway as well as my eBay auctions and website. Both of those links are in the description below. I auction off all the paintings I do for the videos here through my eBay, so please be sure to check that out. Again, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.